Hello, I'm Dan.
And I'm Can.
And this is the Dan and Can podcast. Welcome back, friends. Dan and Caniacs.
Dan and Caniacs.
Is it going to stick?
People want to be called that. No.
Well, we got to think of something for them. So
we can call them Dandy's Candies.
Dandy's Candies. That's pretty possessive to me. So
or Candy's Dandies. Let's call them Andes. Andes Mints. There are little Andes Mints.
Yeah, let's just keep firing. Let's put a pin in that. We'll come back to it later.
Remember when we started, when we were doing Drop the Stones and we wanted to call them stoners?
Yeah. I still want to call them stoners.
That one worked.
It did. Yeah, we'll figure something out. Any suggestions, give them to us.
Yeah.
So
we could call them X's because they're pretty much all X.
Oh.
X some religion.
X something. Mm-hmm. So it's all good. So Candy, let's get into it tonight. Might as well, right? Let's get into brass tacks and let's get to know us a little bit. What is something you used to think was God's will that you now realize was just someone's opinion?
Virginity.
Virginity?
Yeah. I don't know why that comes to mind.
The whole concept of it?
The whole concept of it was completely a construct, made up completely. And some people will be like, no, it's... And it's funny because it was not really something that men had to think about, even though in the churches I was in, it was taught kind of that men should wait, but it also wasn't, they weren't considered dirty. You know what I'm saying? There was no way. I mean, they probably felt like they were.
Yeah, maybe. It kind of depends, I think, on the situation.
Yeah, and there's no way to know, right? Yeah. There's no way to know.
No.
But with a woman, they thought that there was a way to know, even though we've found out since that that's not accurate. But that was, especially if a girl got pregnant or something. Yeah.
Oh, send her away to the covenant. What's it called? The Catholic convent. Yes, send her away. Let the nuns.
Evangelicals wouldn't say that. I did hear you know how I like to watch Sister Wives? Any of you who watch that? I just like stupid reality TV when I'm doing something with my hands where I can just watch TV. And Cody Brown on there, which was the guy that used to be married to all the women, right? He's talking to his one wife. Now he's in a monogamous relationship, and he was talking to her oldest daughter, which is now, he's adopted her. And he was talking to their daughter with a boy over that she's interested in, and they're talking about how they only date for like marriage, is because that's how I was taught to date. You're looking for, if this person has no potential of being married to you, like, you don't waste your time. And so he said to her, or about her, or to her boyfriend or whatever, that you could be kissing another man's wife. Don't take from another man what belongs to him. And I was just like, so he views the girl or her chastity or whatever you want to call her purity.
No, he views the whole woman
as a possession.
The whole woman as a possession. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, that's initially how I took it until I was reading the comments, and maybe it was just her purity or whatever, but it was like she's property that you don't want to take. It was just gross. It was gross to read it or hear it.
That's kind of being stuck in the semantics to say that, oh no, he's just talking about the purity, because he really?
It probably was someone who might be they're Mormon, I think. Yeah,
or
his daughter's evangelical.
Because the purity is part of the character of the woman.
Yeah,
and it's just that's the defining quality.
It tells what kind of woman you are, what quality of woman. Yeah, which brings me to a subject that I would like to have on here at some point. But go ahead.
Don't just end us there. You're blue
because we're in the
balling us
middle of
with
a
your.
game.
We're not in a game. We're only getting to know you, just kind of fleshing it out, warming up.
I have this question that I've been wondering
Giving
about,
us
and I think maybe I've
blue
mentioned
balls over here.
maybe I've brought it up to you before. I think I have, but you hear this phrase of maybe incel guys use this. I don't like to label them incels, but you know what type of guy when I say that, right?
Yeah.
They talk about finding this certain caliber of a woman, right? And I'm always like, what does that mean? And caliber obviously I even looked it up, and it can mean like, it's a standard, right? And it can be like a standard of character, a standard of just anything, really, right?
Yeah.
But almost always when guys are using it, it seems like, or those guys are using it, it's using it in a way of how she looks. So like, what's the president's wife's, what's her name again? Melania. Melania. They would think, like, you remember that pastor was like, oh, she's like the best kind of wife. You can tell she doesn't love her husband. It's almost like they don't care about that. They just want someone who looks a certain way to make other men jealous. So their partnership with a woman has to do with other men and how other men react to them having that woman.
But that goes back to the possession, because now
it does.
The woman is just a
trophy wife or
accessory.
Yeah.
It's something to show
or
off
a
at the
means
party.
for him getting power from other men or accolades
trying to
or
get
whatever
respect,
he's looking for.
From other men. It's an accessory. It's like an expensive watch or a pair of shoes or a suit.
So really these guys don't want to have a relationship with women. They want to have a more relationship with men.
And
because
probably.
I feel like you would, like, to me, a good caliber of woman would be ranked on her character. Like, is she going to be faithful to you? If you're looking for a monogamous woman, she should be faithful to you. She should be able to stand beside you and help support and build whatever you guys are building together. She should be your support, your friend, your equal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She should be, that would be a high caliber. That in my mind is the type of woman I aspire to be. That to me is equal, not just, but in evangelical Christianity, it was kind of taught that it's about, they talk about the character, but also a lot of it is your physical beauty too. That plays through there too. But then you're also supposed to be like sweet and all that trash too.
Yeah. But
I don't know. Share your thoughts on it.
I think it's interesting you put that out. It's more about relationship with men. And I'm trying to think back on some of the traditional Christian marriages and some of the ones you see represented with trad wives and all that. That almost is the case, because some of the relationships we know from a Christian marriage isn't about the relationship dynamic between you. It's almost like they make it work. They find a way to, this is our duties, these are our chores, this is what we're set to do. These
are your roles, it's a business, that's what it is.
Yeah.
The marriage in a lot of these situations is a business. It's not about a relationship. It's kind of like how they always say, Christianity is a relationship, it's not a religion. No, it's a religion, people, it's a religion.
Yeah.
And then same with the marriage. Or the church, it's a business. We all know that, right? Anybody who's on the outside, you could see it's run like a business. It is a business.
Yeah.
And then, so marriage, it's a contract. And that's why you're not married in heart. You have to do it in front of the state. You know what I'm saying? You got to get state approved for God to approve it.
But that point of it's for other men, it almost is, because then in church groups, it's like, well, look at what my wife does. You know, she's at home, she's doing this, she homeschools, she cooks, she cleans, and it's this accessory to put them off. It's like just showing up in a $3,000 suit. Ooh, that guy must be important. This is my wife. She's one of my accessories for my suit and my watch and everything else in my car.
In that case, she also has to look good, though, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, the burden on a woman is It's
yeah.
almost like you have to appear a certain way, and behind closed doors, then they fight with each other because they don't love each other a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Or they're not
Even
friends.
if they talk with each other, because more times than I can imagine, some of the relationships we know, it's probably not true communication. It's probably almost daddy to daughter relationship. I'm going to tell you what to think, what to do, what to say, what to behave, and all this. You don't have any opinions. You don't have any thoughts. You don't have anything. You're just.
And if you do, I will change them.
Yeah, you're just a parrot of whatever I say.
Yeah.
And some of the other ones probably don't have any communication whatsoever other than the business transactions of day-to-day life. Hey, did you get that done? Did you get that done? And that's it. And there's nothing, nothing more than that. They don't get to know the individual. It's just a convenience.
It's just so, okay, you can have children and the guy can go out and look good to everybody, right?
Yeah.
And the woman fulfills her duty as a servant at home, taking care of all of the duties that are required for running a home, children, providing the food and the care, the emotional care. So no wonder women are exhausted, first of all. But it's not, and I guess I think today the culture wants to, the pushback against the patriarchy is to blame the men for everything, but the men are suffering also. Because in that type of relationship, like I don't think, like Trump and Melania, she looks beautiful. Nobody could deny that. She's a beautiful woman. She is pretty. But is she fun to be around? I don't know. She seems pretty miserable to me. Yeah. And I don't think she loves him at all. It doesn't look like, they don't look like they're in love with one another. They just look like they're performing the duties, even when they do things where they are holding close or whatever. I think there was a time where they were like dancing or something.
There's been no shots of that. There's been shots of him trying to hold her hand and she kind of
where they were
away.
like kind of, yeah. But they don't look into each other. Everybody knows what that looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think there's a trade-off. And I'm not saying you can't have a beautiful wife who you're friends with and you feel good and happy with. But I'm saying if that's your standard, is that she's got to look a certain way. And then, because usually what struck me as I was watching some sort of show where they were talking, a woman, they were saying something, is he good enough for a woman of your caliber? And he was a truck driver and she's in school to be a nurse. And I'm like, what do you mean there? She's beautiful. The woman is beautiful, but he's a handsome guy. And it was more about like, she looks so good. She's like has this really, she's Brazilian, so she's very pretty. And she also likes flashy things, very expensive taste, right? And so a woman of her caliber, it's about money. It's about like she deserves to be with someone who has lots of money. That's what it sounded like. Because she was like, I mean, if he's going to be a truck driver forever, no. But if he owns his own business someday, then yes. And so I'm like, it was just interesting to me. It just struck me a certain way. I was like, so a lot of times certain types of men are looking for this caliber of woman that's not going to bring them happiness. It's going to bring them status among other men. So they'll still be miserable when they go home, not because the woman is less than in any way, but because she's not a good match for him. But she makes him look good, and that's really all that matters. And maybe that's all that they care about. Maybe marriage should just be treated like this business thing, and then you fall in love with whoever you fall in love with. But you are in public with, and that's probably what the wealthy do. Let's be honest. I'm sure the people that we've been referring to have partners on the side and we know he has, but I'm pretty sure she has
that's
too.
probably why, because there's no connection there.
There's no love.
It was a marriage of status.
Yes.
Look at this. Because I think she was a model or something over in
she
Russia or somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So it's status. I married a model. And that's how he's always been. He's always
shallow.
went after. Yeah. Well, yeah. When he had his first wife.
He doesn't look past the skin.
Yeah. And it
don't matter. Like
it's the trope that you see on TV of,
decent.
The wealthy, established upper crust family, and the son goes out and he's slumming it because he met some girl in school that comes from middle class.
Is nobody to them. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you can't. She's a gold digger. She's doing this. You need to find someone of status. You need to marry Buffy Covington.
Someone of your caliber.
Yeah.
A woman of,
So there's a lot of that goes on that it just doesn't. Sometimes it works out, and sometimes, I think probably more times it doesn't, because they don't look past that arrangement. What's best for the family? What's best for this? And when you start putting that precedence over everything else, when a man's looking for a woman to see, well, is she malleable? Is she pliable? Is she someone I can control and is going to listen? No, then I'm not going to marry her.
Okay, so that brings me to a different thought, though. That's more like your average Joe trying to do what Trump did with his wife, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, Trump takes a model. A model is not the only caliber metric you can have there is she's beautiful. She looks nice, right?
Yeah.
We know that people in those positions, first of all, those women have nannies. They have housekeepers. They have cooks. They're not doing the basic things like I had to do as a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
So as a trad wife, like we're doing all the, we got the spit up on us, we're changing poopy diapers, we're picking up cat puke, you know what I'm saying? We're doing all the nasty stuff that they would never do. So these women that are in these wealthy positions, they are just like, these men just use them like arm candy. They're just for looks. That's all they are. It's the look of the woman that gets them some sort of, because I don't think that he looks at her as his equal in any way. That's my opinion on him. Do you think that Trump looks at Melania like she's equal to him?
No.
Or do you think he treats her behind closed doors like she's equal to him? I don't know. We have no idea.
He's had mistresses on the sides. I mean, his best friend, Epstein, says enough right there.
But what if... But obviously, we don't know because we do not live in their house, right?
Is if you're taking that situation, I think he married her. She was pretty young, and he was probably in his 40s or 50s
She was in the
or 60s.
Epstein. She's in those pictures, so she was very young. Yeah, so he probably met her through that.
She's aged out of his demographic.
She's much younger than him. She's like my age, and he's almost 80.
Yeah, and she's aged out of his preferred demographic.
Oh, yeah. She's too old, but it would look ridiculous for him to go younger.
Yeah, but he still probably does.
Oh, yeah. Ew.
Probably like...
Gross.
Kids like...
And then the young girls that fall for it are just looking for power and safety and that power, right? Getting up close to...
Yeah. Well, and that's Caroline Leavitt. That's what she does. She flirts with him openly,
Does I've never watched her around him.
Yeah.
Ew, she does.
Sparks up around him. Ooh. Yeah.
So it's just about power because he's not attractive. Yeah. He's, even though he likes to think he is, it's just about the positions that he holds. And it's these men and women are doing it to each other. It's gross.
Yeah. So.
Anyways. Little floppy dick.
Are you talking about me?
No pun intended. No.
You're sharing personal stories. You're talking out of school. All right. So that was our Get to Know You segment.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Tangled
good. We went
webs.
there and expounded on something. All right. How about we play a little bit of what I like to call a game?
A little bit of what you like to call a game?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure. What?
All right, let me get to it here.
Okay.
This is a game called God or Not.
God or Not. Okay.
I'll describe a god, goddess, or divine belief system. You decide if it's a real deity from some culture or religion, or one
made up by AI.
completely made up.
I don't
All
like
right.
these
Sorry,
games at
kids,
all.
if you're
but-
listening.
Yeah.
All right. So you got to decide if this is a made-up deity or a real deity. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
This god created humans out of cornmeal, then realized they were too perfect, so he made them less smart, so they still need him.
Made up.
You think that one's made up?
Cornmeal. Who believes that?
It's
I mean,
real.
I guess.
It's the Mayan god
It's probably
Huracan, part of the
Mayan
Popol
god?
Vuh creation story.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's not much different than Christianity, I was thinking. Like made out of dust, made out of the dirt,
Yeah.
and then made them
Perfect.
evil in a way or
And
defective.
then they were too good, so he gave them sin, so he could knock them down a peg.
Exactly. Yeah. And so they'd need him forever. Yep. So, yeah, I guess I should have thought through that more. It's not that crazy. I mean, it is crazy, but I can see ancient peoples thinking this way. It's just
Oh, yeah.
ridiculous that people still today think this way. And I was one of them.
All right.
Not the cornmeal thing, but
Oh, no, you were out of dust, not cornmeal. Cornmeal is better because it actually has
It's completely-
flavor and something to it. So, this deity was said to travel through the cosmos on a flying mushroom, spreading spores of divine knowledge to awaken chosen believers.
I bet you that's a real one.
It's fake.
Is it?
Yeah.
I could see somebody believing in that.
Well, I could too. You get someone that some of these like Grateful Dead people or something like that. They're like, yeah.
Yeah, man, I saw it. Mushrooms. No wonder mushrooms connect us back with the divine. Yeah, see? I could see it. Next.
This goddess of chaos hatched from an egg that floated in the cosmic sea and then created the first gods by sneezing them out.
I'm going to say
Achoo.
true because it's so weird, but I'm going to say true.
It is true. Any guesses on where?
Is it something I would know?
You know this culture.
Hindu?
Greek.
Greek?
It's the primordial goddess Eris. Chaos.
And she sneezed him out?
Yeah, the banter
Was
is
she
the universe
sick, or-
began with a sneeze, and somehow that's still less ridiculous than Genesis 2, contradicting Genesis 1.
Maybe there might be some truth to that.
This god lives inside volcanoes and demands the sacrifice of an even number of goats, or else he'll cause your crops to rot.
That's true. I bet you.
Not real.
No, come on. There's something like that. Then why would they throw people in volcanoes? Isn't that
That was
something they
people.
did?
This was goats.
Actually, would people do that? How do you get up there and not get killed yourself?
Oh, you can climb up there and then you just shove them in.
Or do you just send the person up there and then just say, now you have to jump?
Yeah. It's a honored sacrifice. You're chosen by the gods. You'll be accepted even greater.
Could you imagine being one of those people that like you're born and they're like, you're going
You
to be
remember
the
we were
next
watching
one?
that show, what was it, Chaos? Was that the name of it?
Oh, yeah. Did we ever finish watching that?
Yeah, that season. And the one lady was the volunteer sacrifice for Zeus.
I don't remember
And-
that.
Yeah, and she was promised that she'd go to the afterlife and come back and be glorified when she came back. Bigger role
Oh,
when
well.
she came back. And then she's in the afterlife and nothing happened because there was a glitch in the system or they stopped doing it because,
So she didn't get what she was
yeah,
promised.
it was something like the power that it took to reincarnate people. The gods figured out that they could use it for themselves to keep themselves young and vibrant and in power. So they stole it so people weren't getting reincarnated anymore.
Wow. I need to rewatch that. I remember there was comical things in it too. Interesting.
Interesting. This god is depicted with the body of a man, the head of a jaguar, and the butt of a serpent. He's the guardian of the thresholds between worlds.
True.
Sort of. True. It's
Egyptian?
based on the Tezcatlipoca, an Aztec deity of chaos, night, and transitions.
I'm sure you butchered that name.
I did. The butt of the serpent is a little bit exaggerated, but close enough.
Like the tail?
Yeah. It's probably some sort of long tail or something like that. But yes, true.
Gosh, I wonder how they just all of a sudden were like, I think these gods, did they think they looked like that? Or did they think they became those gods when they put those, like, or did they just, that was so weird. I mean, to have just what early humans were thinking, it's just strange.
Yeah. It made sense to them. It was reason that this god would look like this or something like that. Of course they would look like that. Because they slide around or whatever.
Hindus today, I don't think they really think their gods look like. I think that they've just made things that represent something of divinity, right? Whereas Christians literally think like Jesus looks like a white guy.
Yeah.
With long hair.
Yeah, long
you know
blonde
what I'm saying?
hair.
Blondish hair that has like a white robe on and a blue sash.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and it was a robe of one piece.
Christians literally think there's a guy out there somewhere. I don't know. Yeah. Now it just sounds so crazy a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It really does sound quite insane.
Yeah.
But when you grow up in it, you don't know. And I don't fault anybody who grows up believing in Christianity, which is a lot of America and a lot of the West, right?
Yeah.
And I know some people be like, that's crazy that you thought that, but I was taught from a child and I was not given other options.
It's the whole thing of your world expanded. When you're a kid, all you know is your house and your backyard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then you get a little older and you get a little freedom to run around the neighborhoods. Now you know your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Then you get a little older and you go to the school and you find kids from other neighborhoods. And maybe you go over there and you learn their neighborhood. You get a little older, you get a driver's license. Now you can go through the whole town.
Yeah.
And you just keep expanding your worldview so you see it. But Christianity keeps you in that one worldview as long as it possibly can without going outside of it. And everything outside of it.
And some people live their entire lives in it and never go out of it. And they're afraid. They've also been taught, not only are they kind of sheltered, but they're taught that everybody outside of it is evil.
Yeah.
And trying to destroy them, destroy their God or whatever.
Well, it's kind of like when your parents say, don't go past that point because that's bad things happen out there. Is there really bad things happen? No.
I mean, maybe some, but they should at least teach you, these are the things that might indicate that someone's not a good person or to hang out with or whatever. But they didn't. They just said, if they don't believe in Jesus, they're not safe.
Yeah.
But if they do believe in Jesus, they are safe, which is a recipe for disaster because anybody can say they believe in Jesus. Right? I mean, you can fool Christians by putting a fish on your truck for your business, and you'll get all the Christian business. I can't hear you.
All right. So, sorry about that. A little edit in there, and we're coming back rough from that. Microphone came detached and had to reset up everything. So, anyways, do you remember where we were? Because I don't.
No, we were basically talking about the Christian worldview, keeping it small, and how you expand it as you grow and it gets bigger and bigger, which is supposed to, and then parents are supposed to teach you how to survive it, because there is good and evil in the world.
Yeah.
I think there's more good than evil. And I do think good wins out over evil every time. It might take a while, but it wins out, right? I think what's loving, and by good, I just mean what's beneficial for mankind and the planet and the animals and all involved. What's beneficial to life? What is conducive for life? So as we're evolving still, what will remain is what is best for life, I guess, because life is going to continue to evolve. So whatever that looks like, it looks like, that's just something. But in Christianity, it's just like that lady that was promised what you were talking about, the volcano or she was promised if she was sacrificed on that show, that she would get this afterlife thing. And that's what Christianity is. It's like basically squander this life away, and you're promised something in the afterlife that will be basically so you can almost look better than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's really about that. Like you're gonna win in the afterlife, but you might lose in this life. And it's just like the only thing you know that you have is this life.
Yeah.
That's all you know. That's
but
all you know.
That
you
also
get.
allows people to take advantage of others and win in this life.
Oh, it's a way of controlling for sure.
Yeah, knowing that who cares about the afterlife because it's not going to matter. You know what I mean? So we'll just control these people and make them think this, then they'll do everything they possibly can.
Yeah, because the people that are getting them to do it they don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? They don't believe like the people that they're trying. Because if they did, they would realize what they're doing is cruel to people. And then they would have to stand in front of a God and explain that. A God who claims to be good, right?
Yes.
So, anyways.
All right. Here we go. A radiant being that lives in your toaster and only reveals itself when the bread pops up perfectly golden.
No, that's made up.
It is.
Okay,
Although
that's stupid.
Jesus has appeared on toast before, so there is some.
I know, that's what I was thinking
it.
you were going to say. It pops up with an imprint of Jesus on it. Is there a toaster that does that?
Yeah, there is.
Is there?
Yeah. I think there's a toaster that does that, like a waffle maker or pancake maker.
It'd be like a gag. It'd be a funny gag gift for somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this goddess rides a tiger, carries weapons in all 8 hands, and was born from a collective anger of male gods.
True. It's a real one.
Yeah, it's Durga, the Hindu warrior goddess.
I was going to say Hindu too, but
yeah,
that would have been a total guess.
It's funny because she's born out of male anger.
I know, that's what I'm like.
The anger of the male gods.
So
it's her demon spawn.
Yeah, I guess they were able to reproduce.
Well, the gods are always been able to reproduce
without female and male.
Yeah,
I thought they even needed male and female.
The Greeks and the Roman gods came down and had relations with people on Earth and reproduced. That's
they
where
did?
you get the
Yeah, they had relations with male and female.
Yeah.
The males had to have relations with the female on planet Earth.
The male gods, yeah, and the female gods.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that she was born out of male anger. Like there was no like female involved.
Well, I don't know. You'll have to ask a Hindu that, you know.
I do know someone who practices Hinduism.
All right.
So
this god is literally just a giant glowing eye that judges all beings and whispers moral instructions into the wind.
I mean, is that what the all-seeing eye on our money is?
That's the Illuminati.
Is it it's the Masons? True.
No. It's inspired by Tolkien.
Is it?
We got that. What's the eye?
Yeah, there is like an eye or something.
Like that.
And is that what the ring was like? It would look for the ring?
I don't.
You can tell I didn't pay attention to that book very much, or that movie.
It never grasped my attention.
No, there was too many fighting scenes. There was some cool what do you call that? The moving not graphics, special effects.
Yeah.
Like the walking trees and stuff. Those were kind of cool. Yeah. There was some cool stuff, and the soundtrack's probably pretty good. But yeah, the story, I don't know, the Christians we knew, there were some obsessed. I would say it was about obsessive with that movie, those movies.
That's putting it mildly. There's still
I did read the book.
Peter Thiel
The Hobbit.
is obsessed with all these. There's a lot of these Christian nationalists
is he really a Christian? Yeah.
That are completely obsessed with Tolkien.
Really?
Thiel named his company after that, whatever that eye is called, Sauron or...
Is it Pantier?
Oh, Pantier, yeah. That's after Tolkien.
It is?
Yeah.
Isn't that a bad guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and
So
he's completely obsessed with Lord of the
interesting.
Rings and all that. Some of these guys cosplay in it as hobbits or whatever, and they're the ones trying to write our government.
Oh God.
I mean,
Okay.
there's an obsession with it.
It's hard to take
All
any
right.
of these guys seriously, really.
Last one. This god is a blue-skinned, flute-playing trickster known for seducing milkmaids and occasionally saving the world.
A Smurf?
Papa Smurf. You're right.
Is it Papa Smurf?
No.
Is it?
No.
Aw.
La 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 la
Aw. I need to watch this one. I used to get to watch that on Saturday mornings when I was at my grandma's because she let me watch it, and she'd be like, "Don't tell your dad."
Yeah, because your dad thought it was satanic.
He did, because there was like a wizard in it, even though Lord of the Rings, Gandalf is a wizard pretty much.
Well, he's a
But yeah, he
Christian
didn't like
wizard,
it.
so that's all right.
Mm. Yeah, because you can easily fool Christians. Like I said, it was a Christian writer, so therefore it's okay.
Yes.
That's how they work. You know, if you're not a Christian writer, it's not okay. But if you are a Christian writer, almost anything you write is okay.
So is this God real or not? The blue skin guy.
Yeah, he's real.
Vishnu. Or no,
Oh,
Krishna.
yeah.
No, not Vishnu. Krishna.
Oh.
Hindu god.
Is it one I've seen? Yeah, I've seen the blue one.
Yeah.
If there's only one, I don't know.
I've seen the blue one.
I've seen the blue one. I mean, I've seen statues or
Yeah.
drawings or paintings or whatever they are.
So mankind has created gods since the beginning of time. As we can see, Hindu is one of the oldest cultures in the world still around and prevalent, and it created all sorts of gods and deities.
Yes.
We've had gods created to explain different things. You look at different cultures, Egyptian, Greek, you know, the ones white America studies, Roman, Nordic gods, you know, Thor and all them. So all these different gods have been created on the world. You know, Asiatic gods, Hindu, the Americas had their own gods they created, different imagery, grandeur, all this stuff.
And even cultures that weren't like you had the indigenous people, they had made up their own gods here that were separate from the gods that were coming out of the Middle East and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The Americas, you know, you had the Aztecs and Mayans had their own.
Yeah.
The natives in Northern America had their own spirits and everything that they followed and worshipped. So it's obvious over time this has been something that's gone on. So, of course, you know,
it seems natural to men to do that.
to do this. So, and it boiled down and then became monotheistic through Abraham and Jewish belief system. So they had this one God that was one God to rule them all over everything. But something I was thinking about today is that sometimes we let people define these parameters of what God is and who God is. And if we start to discuss what we believe God is, then that's nonsense. That's not true. That's woo-woo.
You're just making up stuff.
Yeah, that's you know, and we're saying it's not an actual being or thing. It's this energy, this just whatever that
just
connects
existence
us.
itself.
That just kind of binds us all together. And once we start to learn that, we can live in synchronicity with everything around us and be symbiotic with everything around us. So we let these other things define what the God is, especially in Western world, that this is the God. But the thing is if we were to look into the Western ideologies, these people couldn't even agree with themselves on what God is.
No, they couldn't. It was not like it was clear. See, I think Christians think God showed himself and it was so clear to all these people. It was obvious, right, who God was. And it was obvious who was a heretic. And it wasn't. And it never has been because it has not been clear. It has been people making up things or having a certain perspective, sharing their perspective, other people sharing their perspectives. And then the one with the most authority in the situation wins. Right. Or the most power,
most swords, most guns,
physical. Yeah,
most
exactly.
bombs, whatever. That's who
the most
God
force.
was. And honestly, it's been that since the beginning of the time. Because you look through, even if you were to look at the Bible and only use that as your reference, what was the Old Testament about? My God has a bigger dick than your God.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, and my God let me conquer your people, so my God's better than yours. We win. This is the true God. And even when they lost, it was because we weren't worshiping our God correctly. We weren't giving him the proper respect, so he made us lose.
They would not give that credit to another God, saying another God was more powerful. They would just say, our God is punishing us because we weren't doing it right.
Yeah, we falling short. So it's just manipulation.
It's the same thing with Christians, by the way. It's the same things, you know, in Christianity. God gets all the credit for the good stuff. If it's bad, it's the devil trying to get involved. You know what I'm saying? Trying to tie God's hands I think throw.
The way to kind of look at that is that if a Christian, we're comparing ourselves to us, and let's say something tragic happened in our life that was the same thing that happened in a Christian's life.
Okay.
Well, in our life, that's because we fell away from God and he was punishing us for not believing like him anymore. So let's say we lost all of our money, had a bad business deal, went broke. And this Christian couple went broke. We went broke because we fell away from God and he had to put this hedge of thorns around us to make us fall to our knees and repent to him. The Christian couple is going through a trial and tribulation to strengthen their belief.
He's testing them. He's testing their faith.
Yeah.
Will they still believe even when they don't have their money? Kind of like he tested Job, right?
Yeah. So it's this.
And it's in a way, they will make that God seem very loving both ways. Like, I'm making it really difficult for you guys, so you'll turn back to me for us. And to them, it's like, I'm just strengthening your faith by making you walk through this test.
Yeah. And both of them.
So the God gets to look good either way, and both people suffer.
But in both circumstances, the promise is as long as you turn back to God or hold fast to God's promises, then you'll be rewarded greatly. Maybe not in this life, but you will be. You'll have so many crowns stored up for you because of what you've done. Now,
I will say that belief alone that you just said can help a person if they, I need to straighten my life out and then things will go better, right? Because they probably got into the situation where they lost all their money, or us or them, making some choices that were maybe too risky or, not thinking through. So then you'd be like, okay, I wasn't listening to God there. So now I'm going to listen to God and I'm going to pray. And obviously we know people aren't hearing the voice of God mostly. It's just they're reading their Bible and feeling like it lines up with that, or they're just feeling peace about a certain position. And really, I know that's just their subconscious. That's really what's going on. You know what I'm saying? When they feel uneasy about something, they probably had those incidents as they were making the decisions financially, and then they were just making poorer and poorer and poorer choices. So now they buckle down and they make better choices. That belief alone can start to steer their life in a better direction. It really can, so that's when they'll say it was like God rewarding them, but really they're giving themselves the credit. They'll say it's God, but it's really them giving themselves the credit. If you think about it, and they should give themselves the credit. They're the ones that had to make the decision to make a different choice. But God didn't do that. He just put them in a situation that was so terrible in their head. You know what I'm saying? But they can't take the credit.
In that mindset of the Christian faith, you have this supreme being that's guiding you. And so it feels better if God ordained it in your life. And it gives it more credibility in your circle of friends if God ordained it. So when I got my new job, it wasn't because I had built connections through this and that
it was God. And that
my character had been shown to the individual that was hiring her and then offered and extended me this new job. No, we told everyone, God opened this opportunity for us. He put up
That's interesting.
a rough time for us back here. The job I had currently was holding was getting rough and things were kind of being difficult.
So and the thing is though, if you think about it, it was getting rough because first of all, too much was being asked of you.
Yeah.
It was over and above was being asked of you. And you were not able to even be with your family.
I mean, that situation, because that's the situation I stepped down from because I was being asked so much and I was losing its luster. I had a chance and I was making a lot of money.
The money was not, but you were making more than you ever had before.
Yeah, because I was getting bonuses.
The money was killing you though.
Yeah, and then the company started switching things. And it started losing its luster. And then things were being pushed upon me. You got to do this and this. And then I said, this isn't going to work. It doesn't line up with how I want to operate this area. I want to run things this way. Corporate saying you have to go this completely opposite way of doing it. That's not going to mesh with me. I want to step out, find something else. And then they offer me some crap other opportunities in the company to build up. It was just they were throwing you a bone
to keep you.
Yeah.
Yeah, to keep you without looking bad because you were such a loyal employee, had been there for so long.
Yeah.
And yet they didn't want you in that position because you were resisting what they wanted done, right? Yeah. And you were like, but the thing is it wasn't some being out there. First of all, I think you are part of God yourself, so you can listen to your own instincts. But you were open in that moment. You were open to stepping into something very different. You were willing to take a risk. And it's true. You had built connections. And you had more than anything. It wasn't even that. It was your character. You had built good character. And that character took you somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And that was all on you. It was all on you to get yourself into the position that you got into. But we gave all the glory to God. And you got none of it. Instead of saying see the actions that you take every day, going to, when you were going to work and you were giving your best, but you were also, helping raise a family and, you had, you had built that character that followed you. So that you can pass down to your children and say, see, your character shapes what kind of decisions you kind of get yourself, any positions you get yourself into, what kind of choices you'll have in front of you.
To you. Yeah.
Exactly. And it can change at any time because you can shape your character. I have a quote on my phone that I put on my phone because I put in little, I do that. I have an alarm that I thought it's going off every day because I just think it's a really cool quote that I heard somebody say, and I want to say it real quick because it fits this.
It's good take a minute. She's got to go through all her alarms.
There is a lot, but I found it. Okay, don't be rude. You get to design your own reputation. And I think that's a really cool quote because it's true. And I wanted to keep that and remember it and you can change it at any point. If you don't like the reputation you've built, start building a different one. And that's what makes life so fun is you can you can shape yourself however you want. You can shapeshift. So instead of God made me do it, the devil did it, the devil's trying to stop me from doing. No, maybe, things aren't going your way because it's really not the right direction subconsciously that you want, but you're trying to do it because a lot of times I think we try to force ourselves into positions of things because we think we're supposed to. Take homeschooling, for instance. I would not have homeschooled. The only reason I did it was because I thought that's what a good mother would do. In the place we were at, it was just talked so poorly. They talked so poorly about people who put their kids in public school or Christian school even, and so obviously Christian school was probably too expensive for us at the time because we were trying to, me be the stay-at-home mom.
And then we had confirmations
all these people
later from people that went to Christian schools that said, it's no different than a public school.
No, it's not really. And but the thing is, it's I did it, but I was the whole time I was panicky. It wasn't good enough. You know what I'm saying? It was a stressful, over a decade that I did it. It was stressful. It wasn't something I was necessarily wired for. Now, some people, they're wired for it and they want to do it, and I do not regret teaching my children how to read. I do not regret being home with my children when they were little. I don't regret that at all. The homeschooling thing, I wouldn't have done, but I did it because I thought that's what I should do instead of what I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that is, I think, where a lot of people, they do these things, so they squander. I always think of the verse in the Bible where, I don't know if it's a story Jesus tells or not. I can't remember, but it's like the hidden talents and one. Someone was given 10, someone was given 5, and then someone was given 1. And the one who had 10 went and made 10 more. The one who had 5 went and made 5 more. The one who had 1 was too scared because he thought his owner, or whoever gave it to him, his boss, a banker, whatever, I don't know. He buried it in the ground. So he squandered it. He hid it. Right. And he's like, here, it's right back. And he was like, no, I at least want interest on it. And I feel like that's what your life is. It's your opportunity to like allow the divine, God, whatever you want to call it, to express itself in this container with this personality at this point in time. And when you are doing what you think you should do rather than what you really deep down, who you really are, when you're not expressing who you really are and you're hiding it, you're squandering that life. You're not allowing that expression to be shown. And I think that is that's the sin, the big sin that you commit, in my opinion.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that we assign all this responsibility that this is God ordained. And it's a misrepresentation of what God really is, because it's just people's own interpretations and, our interpretations of the ancients' beliefs, instead of modernizing it and figuring, okay, we got some answers to some of this shit, so maybe this wasn't exactly right, maybe we can reassess and look at it.
Or looking at the history of the church and how it's always behind science.
Tried to put people that are so much more advanced and cram them into this role of religion that is old. It's 2,000 years. Christianity is 2,000 years old. If you go to the Judeo part of it, it's 6,000 years old. So this whole belief structure hasn't advanced at all and changed and progressed and modernized. And people are like, well, that's the point of it. But
like, not Orthodox Judaism, but like, I would say some of the Jewish...
They've modernized, yeah.
They've modernized. Like they're not there. A lot of it is like allegorical, or you know what I'm saying? Like they're not necessarily saying it's literal.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're all saying that or what. I know there's branches different, just like Christianity, right? But it's like, it needs to evolve. The belief needs to evolve as our understanding evolves. And people are like, no, God's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And I would say, yes, I agree that is true, because I think God is all that there is. So but our understanding of that is not the same. It changes. And it did throughout the Bible.
So we're trying to cram ourselves into roles and ways to live life based on the past. So if we go back to, the early 1900s when we were managing farmsteads. So you needed multiple hands taking care of multiple things. So the wife stayed at home and kind of upkept the house and kept cooking and did a lot of the around the house, maybe feeding the chickens and stuff like that, while the husband was out working the field or tending to the cattle and all that.
I think honestly at that time it was the whole family.
It was.
Well, you're thinking of like pioneer time.
No, I'm thinking like, in the early 1900s, they had responsibilities.
So in the home, then it was the woman was in the home a lot. Yeah.
But we've taken that and said, well, the woman still needs to stay in the home. It's like, but why?
But it wasn't like that before too. Much even longer ago, it was. A lot of the women did some of the work, like the needle work and all of that.
I mean, even in the farmsteads, they were doing a lot of the work that needed, but it was just, okay, you're going to do this stuff and I'm going to do this stuff. And then together that's going to, but now it's like, no, you just stay at home and watch the kids and clean the house and I'm going to do that. And it doesn't work anymore. It never evolved out of that. You go back even farther, and you think, you know, just because the woman, you know, you look at like indigenous people of the Americas, the women did a lot of work around the campgrounds, whether it be, you know, taking care of just making the clothes and providing the fire and the food. And sometimes they even did a lot of the hunting and gathering of food, you know, and they're bringing that in while the men, a lot of times, were just protecting from outside tribes or, you know, maybe even going hunting themselves. But they had responsibilities that were very important and vital to sustaining the community. But that was the nature of that, how it was. It's not that way anymore. Modern conveniences has prevented some of that, or eased it from us having to worry about doing all this extra stuff. So it should have freed up women to go out and expand in the workforce, but we don't want to do that. We want to stay stuck in this. So it prevents us from living because we're trying to assign roles based on old principles on how the world worked.
Well, and then people wonder,
modernized.
And then people wonder in their marriage, who's at fault because their marriage is falling apart, and they point the finger at one another. Well, if you would, like, I think of my parents, like my dad was always like, if you would just fill the role to my mom, you know, like fulfill your role and then I'll fulfill mine, even though people would point out to him, like, you do your role first and then she'll fall in line. But it didn't work that way because they were still just trying to fill roles instead of like be partners. And I do think in a lot of ways, this isn't always the case, but you know how they want to say the man is the spiritual leader, which isn't even in the Bible. That's not even a phrase in the Bible. Like they'll say like the man is the head of the woman as Christ is the head of the church, or man is the head of his wife as Christ is the head of the church, or something like that, right? Yeah. And they abuse that. And I don't know. I don't even know if it was added. I don't really care because that verse is just stupid. But
you almost got canceled.
I know.
I'm the one that's supposed to almost get canceled.
I don't know why that word started to come out of my mouth.
I'm the one that says stuff like that, not you.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't usually say that. I know. I don't know why that came to my head.
I'm a bad influence on
yucky.
You.
No, and it's not a good word. But it's just like, it's just stupid that would be the case to think like that. First of all, I think I run some parts of our relationship or some parts of our home better than you can. And you run parts better than I can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You should never be in charge of everything. That's just so dumb. You wouldn't do well. First of all, that's too much pressure for one person. I mean, if you think of a single parent, they have to do that and they're exhausted. It's just a lot, right? When you're running a family and a household, to have all that pressure on you. And a lot of times they will delegate to children as they get older, more so because they have to, you know?
Yeah.
But to say like a man needs to be in charge and then a woman, first of all, the pressure is over and above what a man should have to carry. And then he's looking at his wife as less than, as a father to a daughter, like you said. Like I didn't like that dynamic because I did start to feel like that, you know, like, what is this? Where I'm feeling like.
And you had a bad relationship with your father, so that added that little extra.
True, but even if you had a good relationship with your father, it's weird. It is weird because you do feel like your father's in charge and you need to ask your father's permission and all of that. And can you imagine feeling like you have to, like, you can't make decisions for your life? Like, I get the final say. Now, as partners, we do come to each other and ask and talk to each other about it. Like, this is what I want to do or whatever. Like, let's talk about it and see if that's going to affect the other, you know, how that's going to affect the family. But that's because we're a unit. But you still should be able to make decisions. Then if I was going to go against the whole unit of the family and make the family suffer, I would take the care on the burden of that. Then I caused it. You know what I'm saying? But in the way they have relationships set up in the Christian church now, when they're trying to get you to be like a trad wife and a spiritual leader, it just causes this. It makes marriages miserable because it's not natural. It was natural at the time when when you had pioneers and they were working outside the home and the guys had to go because their physical strength was required for a lot of the farming and stuff out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had to like take care of the ox and get them, hooked up, whatever, and then the woman, she was good at, a lot of the stuff. There was a lot more. The guy could like check out and do one thing at a time a lot of times, right? The woman had a lot of things she's taking care of at the same time. So she was kind of more of a manager, and that worked for that time, right? It was what was needed at the time. But yeah, to keep now guys have tractors. They're getting in a tractor and sitting and listening to music or whatever. And
for you people that don't live in the farmlands, the tractors now have GPS in it. And I know a few people that farm. They literally just go in, and if they wanted to, they could sleep, and the tractor will drive itself. A lot of times they pack a cooler with beer, put their feet up.
They're just there. It's not like, I'm not saying a farmer doesn't have a hard job. I'm not saying that. No. But it's like all of us have things that make life easier. As a woman, whereas long ago they would have to take their clothes down to the river and wash them in the river, right? Or scrub them against a washboard and stuff. Like we throw them in the washing machine. The washing machine washes them. The dryer dries them. I still have to fold them, but eventually they'll invent something. I think they do have things, but they're just obnoxiously huge. But you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of conveniences that we have. We have dishwashers. We don't have to hand wash our dishes. We, have vacuums that run on their own. So there's so many things that make life easier. We should be enjoying life more, but we're not.
Yeah.
Which is strange.
Yeah. Because we constantly want to keep fitting in roles and
because we're trying to stay in the past. Yeah. We don't want to progress forward.
No.
We're resisting our own evolution.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah. Well.
Anyways, that was a hodgepodge of conversation.
Yeah. So, I had a topic I wanted to get on, started kind of on it, went around the place. So who knows? That's how we work, folks.
I have to come up with a title for this and a description. That's going to be fun.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I'll think of something.
Well, if you're watching us on YouTube, please go down and give us a like, subscribe, and follow. I'm sorry. I got to point that way because the graphic will be there right in here.
You're putting it between us?
Yeah. I like putting stuff in between us. There you go. Wow.
Usually you don't.
Yeah. Anyways, I couldn't think of an inappropriate joke right there. I'm sorry. I'm failing. So yeah, like, subscribe, follow. We'd appreciate it greatly. Leave us comments. We love that too. Go down below into the links that we attach to each of our files. You can find danandcan.com. Everything we're doing on there. And there's a couple other links that are under danandcan.com also that are on the bottom here also that Candi's doing. So you can get involved with all the stuff we're doing there. If you're listening to on a podcast streamer, give us 5 stars. We'd appreciate it. Leave a comment if you got a couple minutes. We'd like to hear from you on that too, because we just love hearing from all our peoples. So do all that for us. And you know what? It may have been a hodgepodge, but it's an ADHD podcast. So for all you people out there that are neurodivergent, you're welcome. We like to...
Or maybe we made it worse for him because there's no structure to it. But I think there were some things that people could think on. We gave them food for thought, right? Take our ideas and turn them into something for us, please.
Yeah. So eat
our
up.
Random thoughts.
You guys eat up. You can have all the Danny Can cake you want.
All of Dandy's candies. Or Candy's Dandies. Or Andy's Mints. As a throwback to the beginning of this podcast. Okay, I'll shut up.
I want to put nuggets in there somewhere.
No, don't call them nuggets.
Niblets? Giblets?
No.
All right. Enjoy our candy that we're giving to you.
I don't know how I feel about that one, but
we're working on it. We're going to find one of these times that we like. So
we'll find something that fits.
All right. That's all we got for you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.